Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to be showing you the basics of starting and stopping an activity on your Garmin Instinct 2 solar watch. Now I'm showing it on the solar. Really shouldn't matter if you got the solar, non-solar, even if you got one of the S models. This should be the same for all of them. Also, what you're seeing in this video is pretty similar to what you would be doing if you had the Instinct 1 as well. The very top right button is your GPS button. That also acts as the button that gets you to your activities and applications. When you first get your watch, you're going to press the GPS button and you're going to see a screen like this. It's going to show you all of the activities that come delivered on the watch, and you're going to go through and you're going to pick the activities that you want to display. You're going to see there are a ton of them that are listed here. What it's basically asking is when you go do activities, which ones will you be doing? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick mine, and then I will show you what happens after we get done with this screen. So I'm going to choose walk. Now don't worry too much. If you don't pick one, these activities will always be on your watch. You can always go back to them and add them at a later point. It's more so just to get them out of your way initially. So let's see what else I want to put on here. Hunt and golf. Once you've got it set the way you want, I'm going to go ahead and press the back button. And it's going to say, hey, do you want to save your changes, yes or no? I'm going to press GPS to save my changes. Now you can see the only thing I see are the three that I chose. Golf, hunt, and walk. If I wanted to get to those other ones, I would have to go to the very bottom here and do an add. So now let's go back to my main watch face and let's start over again. Now I want to go do an activity. If I press the GPS button, I see the three activities that I've previously specified as activities I would be doing, and I would just choose whichever activity I want to do. I'm going to go ahead and choose walk in this example. Now you'll notice there's a little thing that came down here. It says options, and it's got an up arrow. Now everything I'm showing you here, you could also do on your cell phone if you're using the Instinct 2, and I would actually recommend doing it on the cell phone. It's a whole lot easier, and then simply sync the changes over. Before you start your activity, if you press the up button, you can get into the options for that given activity. So for example, I can go into the walk settings and I can choose which data fields are going to be showing when I do this activity, what kind of alerts am I going to get during the activity, what kind of power mode am I going to use, am I going to be using GPS, not using GPS, what kind of GPS, all kinds of stuff in here. Do I want to do an auto pause, auto climb? There's all kinds of different settings that you can set before you actually start your activity. However, when you're ready to start the actual activity, you can see I'm indoors right now. It's still trying to connect my GPS. I will press the top right button and that will begin the activity. I don't have to stay in the activity screen. I can press the back button, get back to my main watch face. The one thing you got to be careful about with activities is right now, let's say I'm out doing a walk. If I forget to stop that activity, especially if it's using GPS, it could be using a lot of battery life. So I always say you want to make sure if you're going to start an activity, make sure you stop it as well. You can always go back to your activity listing by pressing the GPS button, and you can see in the background my activity is still running. Now I haven't done any customizations or settings or anything, so there's not a whole lot to see other than how far I've traveled, the time, the pace, my heart rate, so on and so forth. But your activity is actually running right now. When you're ready to stop it, you would simply just press the GPS button again. It kind of puts it in a pause state. And then it gives you some options. It says, hey, do you want to resume it? Do you want to save it? Do you want to resume that same activity later for the same specific walk? Do you want to change the sport? Maybe I chose walk and I should have said, you know what? I should have done jog or something. You could change that. You could do a lap counter. You can navigate back to the start of the activity, or you could just discard it completely. And that's what I'm going to do in this example. Is I'm going to say, hey, just forget about this activity. Don't save it to my account, anything like that. It's going to put you back into that same activity. I can press the back button, gets me back to my activity listing. If I press back again, it takes me back to my main watch face. It's really very simple. First thing is set up your activities in there. In your activity listing, press the GPS button. Go choose the activity you're getting ready to do, press GPS to start, press GPS to stop it. There's a whole lot more that goes into the activities, but this is just for somebody out there who's trying to figure out how do I get going with getting to activities and getting them started. I hope the video helps.